everybody, and welcome to this week's story time. I am really excited today because, well, there are two reasons that I'm excited. The first reason that I'm excited is that today's book is actually a poem that's been made into a book, which I love reading poetry and I love helping kids to write poetry. And it's by one of my very favorite Canadian poets. So the book is The Cat and the Wizard, and it's by Dennis Lee. And Dennis Lee has written a lot of kids' poetry. When I was very little in elementary school myself, we had Alligator Pie in our school library, and I loved that book. I loved how silly his poems were, and it really made me want to read more because I loved his poems so much. So when I hadn't been teaching that long, I actually got a chance to meet him and listen to him read this story. So it's kind of a special story because he's one of my favorite Canadian authors, and I was able to hear him actually read this himself, which is always really cool. So here we go, The Cat and the Wizard. A senior wizard of high degree with a special diploma in wizardry is trudging along at the top of the street with a scowl on his face and a pain in his feet. A beard, a bundle, a right angle stoop, and a hand-me-down coat embroidered with soup. A halo of smoke and a sputtery sound, the only real magician around. But nobody nowadays welcomes a wizard. They'll take in a spaniel, make room for a lizard, but show them a conjurer still on the ball, and nobody wants him or needs him at all. His bundle is bulging with rabbits and string and a sort of machine that he's teaching to sing, and a clock and a monkey that stands on its head and a mixture for turning pure gold into lead. He carries a bird's nest that came from the ark. He knows how to tickle a fish in the dark. He can count up by tens to 1,000,003, but he can't find a home for his wizardry. For nobody nowadays welcomes a wizard. They'll drool at a goldfish, repaint for a lizard, but show them a magus who knows his stuff, they can't slam their latches down quickly enough. In Casa Loma lives a cat with a jet black coat and a spiffy hat. And every day at 4:30, she sets the table for 12 or more. The spoons parade beside each plate. She pours the wine, she serves the steak and shreddies and turnips and beer in a dish, though all she can stomach is cold tuna fish. But a cat is a cat in a castle or no, and people are people wherever you go. Then she paces about in the big dining hall, waiting and waiting for someone to call who won't be too snooty for dinner and chat at the home of a highly hospitable cat. And every evening at 8:30, she throws out the dinner and locks the gate. And every night at 10:30, she climbs up to bed by herself again. For a cat is a cat in a castle or no, and people are people wherever you go. One day they meet in a laundromat, the lonesome wizard, the coal black cat, and chatting away in the clammy air, they both find they like solitaire, and merry-go-rounds and candlelight, and spooky yarns that turn out right. They stroll together, chatting still, to Casa Loma on the hill. And there the cat invites her friend to share a bite if he'll condescend. And yes, the wizard thinks he might, but just for a jiffy and one quick bite. An hour goes by like a silver skate. The wizard moves from plate to plate. 2 hours go by like shooting stars. The cat produces big cigars. And there in the darkening room they sit, a cat and a wizard, candle lit. At last, the wizard takes the pack from his creaking, reeking, rickety back. He sets it down with a little shrug and pulls a rabbit from under the rug. And before you can blink, he's clapping his hands, and there in the doorway, a peacock stands. Now he's setting the monkey upon its head, he's turning the silverware into lead, and counting by tens from 100 to 4, and making a waterfall start from the floor. And juggling a turnip, a plate, and a dish, and turning them all into fresh tuna fish. The cat is ecstatic. She chortles, she sails from the roof to the floor on the banister rails, and soon the whole castle is whizzing with things, with sparklers and flautists and butterflies' wings. And all through the night the party goes on, till it stops in a trice at the crack of dawn. And the wizard installs his pack in a drawer, while the cat tidies up the living room floor. And as the sky is glowing red, they tiptoe up the stairs to bed. The wizard's snore is rather weird. The cat is snuggled in his beard, dreaming of tuna fish end to end, and rabbits, and having a brand new friend. Perhaps you wonder how I know a cat and a wizard can carry on so. Well, if someday you chance to light on Casaloma late at night, go up the window, peek inside, and then you'll see I haven't lied. For round and round the rabbits dance, the moon is high and they don't wear pants. The tuna fish patrol the hall, the butterflies swim in the waterfall. And high and low with a hullabaloo, the castle whirls like a tipsy zoo. And in the corner, if you peer, 2 other figures may appear. One is dressed in a spiffy hat, the queen of the castle, the jet black cat. The other's a wizard of high degree. The wizard is grinning. The wizard is me. I absolutely love that story. I love the friendship that develops in that story and just all of the fantastical, wonderful places that poetry can take us. So I hope that you enjoyed that story. If you have a favorite poet or a favorite poem, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a like if you enjoyed this story, and I can't wait to see you next week for another great book. Thanks for watching.